everybody. All right, we're gonna do science lesson 7, page 196. How does extreme weather affect people? Ryan wants to say hi.
Hi.
All right, here we go. Okay, so our science vocabulary on page 196 is blizzard, dust storm, hurricane, thunderstorm, tornado, and wildfire. And surely you are familiar with all of these things. But I think our challenge is to really think about what would it feel like if you were in those positions. Would you stop? They need to learn. Go away. Okay, page 196. Rainy weather brings water needed by plants and animals to survive. Snow may be fun for you to play in, but weather can be so strong that it causes damage. Tornadoes, blizzards, and hurricanes are examples of extreme weather. You cannot prevent extreme weather, but you can take steps to reduce its harm and stay safe. Page 197, extreme weather. Clear sunny days can be nice, but some weather is not so pleasant. Temperature, wind, and precipitation can come together and create powerful storms. In 2012, a storm known as Superstorm Sandy moved up the east coast of the United States. The storm was so big it measured more than 900 miles across. Along the coast, the rain and ocean waves caused flooding. Further west, in some places, up to 3 feet of snow fell. The storm caused a lot of damage and people died. Boys and girls, look at those pictures. Look at those taxi cabs that are like totally and completely flooded. That's probably 2 feet or more of water. It says rain and ocean waves caused flooding during Superstorm Sandy. Now, boys and girls, look at the picture down below. Remember it said that further west from the coast that it snowed? Is this an example, this picture down below, of snow? Look closer at that. Do you realize that that's sand? Look how far in. I'm looking towards the middle on a diagonal. That sand reaches 1 house, 2 houses, 3 houses, 4 houses, 5 houses, 6 houses, 7 houses in. That's how far that sand came in from the beach area. And look at those houses right by the beach. They're destroyed. So these storms can be extremely destructive. Some storms have very strong winds and heavy pounding rain. Other storms have cold temperatures and blowing snow. What kinds of storms happen where you live? So boys and girls, in our climate, remember what climate means, what kind of storms could we have this time of year? I hope you didn't say blizzard. Did you say tornado? Or thunderstorms, but I'm talking severe weather. Tornado, right? If it was wintertime, what kind of severe weather could we have? Most likely a strong snowstorm or even a blizzard. So it depends on the climate you live in. Now, if Florida is going to have a really big storm, chances are great it's going to be something with rain and water, flood or something like that. They don't get a whole lot of tornadoes. They obviously could get a hurricane. But in our neck of the woods, we don't get hurricanes because we don't have an ocean near us. So we get more tornadoes, whereas the people who do get the hurricanes really don't get the tornadoes. So it just depends on where you're at. Let's see. Some storms have very strong winds and heavy pounding rain. Other storms have cold temperatures and blowing snow. What kind of storms happen where you live? Make a plan to prepare for a storm and stay safe. Talk with your family so you know what to do if a storm comes. And we prepare for that all the time. We definitely do it at school, and maybe you even do that at home. Okay, page 198, thunderstorms. Boy, that's a cool picture, huh? Really cool. Dark clouds can bring rain. Only some produce thunderstorms. During these storms, you may hear a loud clap of thunder or see flashes of lightning. A thunderstorm is a strong storm that brings wind, rain, thunder, and lightning. Thunderstorms happen all over the world. Most occur during spring and summer. Florida gets more thunderstorms than any other states, but they happen in any state. A thunderstorm forms when warm air flows up, which of course we know that makes sense because we know warm air rises. Warm air flows up and cold air flows down. Again, we've talked about how you have a cold basement. Even in the summer, you have a cold basement because the cold air is falling. This movement of air creates a tall cloud that produces wind and rain. And we heard a little bit about the really tall clouds in a previous lesson. The lightning produced by thunderstorms can damage whatever it strikes. It can even kill or seriously injure people. What can you do to stay safe during a thunderstorm? If you hear thunder or see lightning, go indoors. If you are not near a building, find a low place or stay in a car. Stay away from tall objects. So boys and girls, that's a little different than what you need to do during a tornado. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Page 199, hurricanes. That is another really cool picture, isn't it? Boys and girls, can you tell what state that's near? Can you see that light yellow outline over to the right-hand side? What state do you think that is? Does it look like Florida to you? So that's in the bay side of Florida. So between Florida on the right and on the left, right by the eye of that hurricane is Texas. Hurricanes are larger than thunderstorms. A hurricane is a large spinning storm that forms over a tropical ocean. So boys and girls, if hurricane is one of the words on your comprehension sheet, what you should be writing is page 199. A hurricane is a large spinning storm that forms over an ocean or a tropical ocean. Hurricanes gain strength as they move over warm weather. That's why it's called a tropical ocean, by the way. It rains very hard in a hurricane. There are strong winds that can cause ocean waters to rise and cause flooding. Hurricanes get energy from warm, humid air above the ocean. When a hurricane reaches land or cold water, it loses its energy and it weakens. So it needs that warmth in order to be strong. And as soon as it starts to get cold, it starts to weaken. And that's actually a really good thing because you don't want a strong hurricane. If you're going to have a hurricane at all, a weak hurricane would be much better. And the weaker it gets, pretty soon it just turns into a bad thunderstorm, right? Or a tropical depression, they call it sometimes. Most hurricanes form in late summer or early fall. Honestly, though, I just heard on the news today that hurricane season begins the beginning of May. So it says most of them are late summer to early fall, but there is actually a hurricane season, which just means it's a time that it's most likely to happen, if it's going to happen. And hurricane season starts in May. So I think it's like May to October, something like that. You can prepare for a hurricane. Put objects away that could be picked up by strong winds, like maybe a picnic table. Have flashlights and batteries ready in case you lose electric power. During a hurricane, you should stay inside. Some people near the coast are told to go inland, so get away from the coast. Coast means the edge where the land and the ocean meet. So they say get away from that area because, again, boys and girls, if you look back one page to page 197, we see all kinds of houses. The ones that are destroyed are the ones that are right at that edge of the beach line. So the further in you get, the safer you're going to be. Now, in this case, it was only one line of houses. Frequently, you could have where every one of those houses would be ruined by a hurricane. So usually just going in one house isn't enough. You usually have to go miles and miles and miles away from the beach area. So some people are near the coast are told to go inland. They can stay in shelters until the storm ends. Page 200. Tornadoes. Imagine a wind so strong that it could turn a car upside down or blow apart a house. What can cause that? A tornado is a powerful, quickly spinning air mass. Many tornadoes form during thunderstorms. Tornadoes are much, much smaller than hurricanes, but their winds move even faster. So that's a good little fact about tornadoes, is that their winds can move even faster than hurricanes. The spinning winds can reach over 300 miles per hour. More than 1,000 tornadoes form each year in the United States. Tornadoes can happen in any state. Most strike in the Great Plains. So boys and girls, I'm going to turn my hand this way. If we think of this as the United States, where you've got like Florida down here, Michigan somewhere right here, California over here. The Great Plains states are really this middle part. So you're not near the ocean. That's where you're going to have your hurricanes. Okay. There's a lot of dry, flat land here. And it's that flat land that really attracts the tornado. So that's really us too. We'd be up by my fingertip. Okay, tornadoes form quickly, so there may be very little warning or time to prepare. They usually only last for a few minutes. A tornado warning means a tornado is headed your way. You should quickly move to a safe place. Go to your basement or a bathroom or a closet without windows. If you are at school, follow directions from your teachers. Page 201, blizzards. You know that storms can happen in warm weather. Cold weather storms can happen too. A blizzard is a long-lasting snowstorm with a lot of falling or blowing snow. So boys and girls, sometimes if there's a big snowstorm all at once, snow squall, it's actually called, we might say, oh my gosh, it's a blizzard. But the thing with a blizzard is that it's long-lasting. So you have a ton of snow coming down, but it's not stopping. So you can see how that snow could really build up, right? In a snow squall, you get that ton of snow, but it might be 10 or 15 minutes, okay? Or an hour even, but I mean, it's a short amount of time. A blizzard is like, 2 days or something. Okay, so if you have blizzard on your comprehension paper, you can write in page 201, find the green word. A blizzard is a long-lasting snowstorm with a lot of falling or blowing snow. That's what your paper should say for blizzard. The winds cause snowdrifts to form. Blizzards have low temperatures and gusty winds. The winds cause snowdrifts to form. Blizzards most often occur in the Midwest, that's us again, and northeast areas of the United States. In 1993, a blizzard formed over a large part of the southeast. So east and south. Florida would be the furthest southeast, like way down here. Parts of southern Alabama got 1 foot of snow. Some mountain areas in Tennessee got nearly 5 feet of snow. Now you might think 1 foot of snow, or even 5 feet is kind of a lot, but you might think 1 foot of snow is not that much, but it's a lot for Alabama. That was definitely a storm and not just the regular weather for that climate. Okay? The safest place during a blizzard is indoors. Cold temperatures can cause frostbite. It's hard to see in blowing snow. Roads can be hard to drive or walk on. It's best to wait out the storm indoors. You might even get a snow day. Boys and girls, when I look at that picture of that lady with the cars, it seems like we just had that kind of snow not too long ago, and I don't even want to look at it. But look how high that snow is. Truly, in that one picture where there's the car that's right in front of her dark coat, look at that rear view mirror. The snow is up to the rear view mirror. It's a lot. Page 202, dust storms and wildfires. Sometimes weather causes other kinds of storms. Have you ever seen dust swirling in the air? Some places are hit by dust storms. How can a storm be made of dust? Sometimes during droughts, you remember what a drought is? Plants do not grow and soil becomes dry. A dust storm forms when dry soil is picked up by strong winds. Okay, so what is a dust storm? Strong winds that pick up dry soil. Okay, they form big blowing clouds of dust. Dry weather can cause other hazards too. Some places get dangerous wildfires. A wildfire is a large fire in a forest or grassland. So what is a wildfire, boys and girls? Page 202. A large fire in a forest or grassland. Wildfires can be started by lightning. Other wildfires are started by humans, oftentimes by accident. If the land is dry, the fire will quickly spread. It can burn for days or months. Wind can make wildfires worse because it spreads the flames. Natural fires in areas without people can be helpful, but fires near people's houses can be dangerous. Wildfires burn fast, so people may need to leave quickly for safety. Boys and girls, look at that picture at the bottom of 202. The fire picture is scary enough, but look at those emergency lights down below. There's something about those emergency lights that makes that whole picture even scarier. Do you remember in the fall, we talked about the wildfires that were burning in Australia? And we talked about, how sad it was. We probably didn't talk a lot about it, but I do remember we discussed it. And again, that idea of really trying to put ourselves in the place of those people and truly trying to understand what that might be like and having compassion and empathy for them as a result. Because can you even imagine losing your things or your house or your school or whatever to any one of these? The wildfires, you wouldn't really lose anything to a blizzard, but tornadoes. A long time ago, I was only a little girl and I didn't live anywhere near here, but a tornado hit St. Augustine. And it actually, I think it was at night, so I don't think that there were kids there. And it actually tore apart one of the buildings. And one of the buildings, if you think about St. Augustine, there's the school. And then to the left, there's the cathedral. And to the right, there's a building. And it's actually where they have their cafeteria and stuff like that and their gym. That building was either ruined or whatever was there was taken down and that building was built in its place. And there's a little plaque right on the wall that commemorates that date. So, it definitely happens, and that's why we practice at school. Okay, so you're going to work on your comprehension questions, and I will talk to you soon.